On a bright and cloudless September morning in New York City, 89-year-old Frank Siller was getting ready for his day like any other. He had plans to visit his son in New Jersey after dropping off his granddaughter at school. As he sipped his coffee, watching the morning rush, his phone rang. It was his son. "Dad, turn on the TV," he said urgently. And that's when Frank saw one of the most horrific sights of the 21st century. His son would never see him again. Neither would many others. It was September 11, 2001, a day that started like any other, but ended up changing the world forever. Before we begin, remember to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. 7:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City between the 93rd and 99th floors. The impact is so powerful that it collapses the top 3 floors. At first, it isn't clear if the plane has actually crashed. The footage looks almost surreal. A few minutes later, United Airlines Flight 175 crashes into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. The plane hits the building between the 77th and 85th floors, causing similar damage to the North Tower. Almost immediately, officials announced that both incidents are cases of suspected terrorism. 7:59 a.m. President George W. Bush is informed about the attacks on the World Trade Center while visiting a school in Florida. He is taken aside and told that a plane has crashed into one of the towers. At first, they believe it may have been an accident, perhaps a small plane that veered off course. But the president is quickly briefed about the second plane and realizes that something more sinister is at play. He tells the students, teachers, and parents that they should continue with their normal activities while he is whisked away to safety. 8:04 a.m. United Airlines Flight 93 departs from Newark International Airport bound for San Francisco. On board are 40 passengers and 9 crew members. They're all looking forward to their weekend in the Golden State. Little do they know that they are running out of time. 8:13 a.m. The FAA closes U.S. airspace to any further traffic. No one is allowed to enter or leave. Flights are grounded. By now, everyone knows that there has been some kind of disaster. Some suspect a terrorist attack, others aren't so sure. 8:26 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77 crashes into the west side of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. Part of the plane flies through the air and lands in a nearby parking lot. The area is evacuated and a rescue operation is initiated. Within hours, it becomes clear that the damage to the Pentagon is extensive. But it will be several weeks before the full extent of the injuries and casualties become known. 8:37 a.m. The passengers on board Flight 93 become aware that the other flights have been hijacked. They learn about the attacks on the Twin Towers and realize that they could be next. Some of them make frantic calls to their loved ones, saying goodbye and professing their love. Others pray. Still, others plot their next move. They won't be passive victims. 8:42 a.m. The passengers and crew on board Flight 93 fight back against the hijackers. We don't know exactly what happens, but we do know that the hijackers are overwhelmed and the passengers regain control of the plane. At this point, the hijackers are armed with knives and box cutters. The passengers are unarmed, but are prepared to fight. Some of them charge the cockpit, while others restrain the hijackers in the cabin. There is chaos and confusion, but in the end, the passengers prevail. With only minutes to go before they might crash, they have managed to save themselves. 8:46 a.m. United Airlines Flight 93 crashes into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The plane was traveling at around 580 miles per hour when it hit the ground. Everyone on board dies. Later, investigators would determine that the plane probably crashed because of a lack of fuel. The heroic actions of the passengers may have saved many lives. Had the plane reached its intended target, which was believed to be the U.S. Capitol building, the death toll would have been much higher. 9:03 a.m. The second tower of the World Trade Center collapses. The massive cloud of dust envelops lower Manhattan. People flee the area. 9:59 a.m. The North Tower of the World Trade Center collapses. Again, a massive cloud of dust is thrown into the air. 10:03 a.m. President Bush addresses the nation. He announces that terrorists are responsible for the attacks. He pledges that the United States will respond. 10:28 a.m. two other planes are grounded before they can reach their targets. A fourth plane, American Airlines Flight 66, was scheduled to depart from Dallas at the same time as American Airlines Flight 77, the plane that hit the Pentagon. It was supposed to fly to Los Angeles, but the flight was delayed, and it didn't take off until 10:28 a.m., by which time the FAA had already closed U.S. airspace. The pilot turns back after spending 25 minutes in the air. 10:59 a.m., the last confirmed call comes in from the second tower. Survivors are still trapped inside. Rescuers are desperately trying to reach them, but the damage to the building is so extensive that very few people are found alive. 11:02 a.m., an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council is held. All 15 members attend. 11:35 a.m., rescuers begin to scale the rubble of the World Trade Center. So far, they have found 14 bodies. Throughout the day, thousands of people gather at makeshift memorials outside the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. They leave flowers, candles, and signs of remembrance. In the days and weeks following the attacks, the world grapples with the aftermath. More than 3,000 people are dead, including those who died in the attacks and those who died from illnesses related to the attacks. More than 6,000 people are injured. The death toll includes people from more than 90 countries. The economic impact of the attacks is staggering. Nearly $10 billion in property is damaged. The airline industry alone loses nearly $3 billion. October, the U.S. begins military operations against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban in Afghanistan. The war in Afghanistan lasts for 10 years. Thousands of people are killed. November, the 9/11's Commission is created to investigate the attacks. The Commission issues its final report in 2004. Among its findings is the fact that the attacks could have been prevented if the U.S. government had shared intelligence about Al-Qaeda with the airlines and the public. In the years since 9/11, the world has changed in many ways. The U.S. government has increased security measures at airports and other public places. The war on terror has been fought in Afghanistan, Iraq, and elsewhere. And the world has become a more dangerous place. But despite all of this, the people of the United States and other countries around the world have come together in the face of adversity. They have shown compassion, courage, and a willingness to help others. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of our video. And don't forget to like and share. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to watch similar content, you can check out our other videos about historical events and figures. Thanks for watching.